What's going on, everyone? So, with Gale Weathers returning to the upcoming Scream 7, myself, as I'm sure many of you, are very excited. And rumors are that she is expected to have a more significant role, that she is going to have more minutes. She's supposed to be around about 20 minutes in this upcoming film, and that's great. And I'm curious to see kind of how do they approach her character. Hopefully, do right by her character because Scream 6 in particular, I felt like you might as well have not even had her in it. I didn't think she did anything significant. She didn't do anything to drive the plot or the story or anything. She didn't have any like real development or nothing. She kind of showed that she's still a little cutthroat, right? Because she still wrote the book, did all that stuff. But outside of that, it's like the one thing that she did was discover the shrine room, and it didn't like disrupt anything, it didn't do anything, right? Detective Bailey was like, oh, we were going to show you anyway, but Gale beat us to it essentially. So like everything just kind of, I felt like she wasn't needed in Scream 6. Like literally everything that happened in Scream 6 could have happened without Gale Weathers. Right. So I really want them to get back to giving us a good story, good development, put Gale in compromised positions and stuff. I think she probably should have died in Scream 6. And we'll see if she ends up dying in this upcoming Scream film. I do think there's a good chance. And part of me kind of feels like they should, just to kind of get things back on track, because that was the whole point of killing Dewey, right? Was that you kill Dewey so that way you can set the tone that nobody is safe and everybody can die and it's a new era. And then you just go into Scream 6 and you don't kill anybody. It's like, come on. Right? And then now you fall into Scream 7 and it's like, okay, maybe we need that tragedy again, to where, hey, Gale kind of feels, I've talked about it, kind of feels like the Dewey buildup type thing. But got some information, got a couple little details on Gale Weathers potentially. Again, take everything with a grain of salt. It's all rumor until we actually see the movie or it gets confirmed. But there's some rumors on kind of the situation that Gale is in. It's no like major spoilers, not like whether Gale like lives or dies or anything like that. It's just kind of details on her character and the situation she's in. So I wanted to kind of talk about them. So going into it, again, this is from Brittany Vinyl. Scream 7 is bringing classic desperate reporter Gale Weathers back, and I'm excited. So we'll be spiraling, going through so much loss, and hiring Chad and Mindy Meeks Martin to help her. It's almost like desperate Scream 4 Gale, trying to enlist Charlie and Robbie. So want to touch on that here in a moment. But the original rumors seem to stem from this Jude. Not familiar with him. I just somebody new that's popped up on the radar that I've seen a lot of his posts getting shared as if, so I don't, again, take this stuff with a grain of salt. He might be incredibly credible. He could be somebody that's on the inside. He could be, somebody that's just throwing stuff out there. I don't know personally, but I have seen a lot of, the credible people kind of reiterate and throw out like, hey, this is accurate or not. So, but the recent Gale kind of news seems to have stemmed from Jude. So again, if anyone is familiar with him, please let me know how credible it is. But again, I've seen other people that I have seen be credible in the past share the same information. So that's why I'm sharing it. But Gale comes to town with one of her strongest entrances yet in Scream 7, spiraling through her career struggles and tasting her own medicine under cancel culture. She's on the hot seat like never before. She unmasks a key part of the chaos, and her arc is rich and full of substance. So, a couple things. One, I like the idea of like, the Meeks twins getting involved. Now, that rumor has been going around since basically the beginning, since Chad and Mindy were announced to be returning, Mason Gooding and Jasmine Savoy Brown. So they are supposed to be kind of the reporter and cameraman for Gale and kind of helping Gale. It looks like Gale is going through some type of cancel culture thing. Maybe it's because of her books or whatever. We'll see how they approach it. Scream has always kind of touched on, society and stuff. And, we live in not as bad as it used to be. But that cancel culture, society, and stuff. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how that goes. And I'm excited to kind of see how does Mindy and Chad, handle it. Are they going to be involved in a significant sense? Are they kind of just there to be Gale's punching bags? Are they helping Gale kind of navigate the cancel culture and this kind of new world to her and whatnot of social media and stuff? Would be kind of interesting to see. But also, if Gale Weathers really is desperate and kind of scrambling, we saw her she is similar to Scream 4, right? Where she wants to get back in the action. She needs to get the scoop. Ghostface pops up, starts killing people and whatnot. And she feels like, hey, I got to get back into the swing of things here. We saw in Scream 4 her kind of put herself in positions that nearly led to her death, right? Not the smartest decisions. And so maybe that's something that could allude to her death. Maybe that could end up being her demise as she ends up sticking her nose into something. It says that she uncovers, some things early. Like maybe she discovers some stuff that she shouldn't have discovered, or ends up going to a place that she shouldn't have gone and gets some information, maybe gets caught and made an example of or something like that. I think you could do some pretty cool, interesting things in that regard. Give me a good Gale chase scene. Give me a good, Gale sequence to where, we feel like, even if you don't kill her, we feel like she might, right? We feel like that might be the end for her. Like, put her in a couple tough spots to where she has to kind of figure that out, as she's trying to kind of get her career back and get her bearings again and stuff. I just think I think that'd be really good for this upcoming Scream film and kind of continue to build Gale's character, right? Give me more story arc. Let's not just keep it so stale. But also, her essentially, spiraling and whatnot, and her kind of, how much does she resort back to kind of classic Gale? Because we've had kind of this trajectory of her where it was like, cutthroat, Randy's throwing out that she could be the killer, and all of us were like, yeah, we could see it, right? Because she was just one of those people, like, she would push you down just so she could record Ghostface taking you out type thing. And for her to go from that to like being a stay-at-home mom and basically putting an end to her career, and then you fast forward and then she kind of gets back into her career. That's all she kind of has right now is her career. So she's losing that career. I could see and understand the spiraling. It's like, it's kind of all I have left. I don't really have much left. Right? The only guy that really put up with me and loved me and was willing to, be there for me, he's gone. So, it's just me, myself, and I again in my career. And now I'm, at risk of losing said career. I do think you can do some like kind of creative things. I think you could do some fun kind of, stories and kind of put Gale in these compromised positions. So at the end of the day, I just want good stories with her. I just want good execution. I just want, I'm totally okay if, she ends up roping Chad and Mindy into the fold of things, and that's how they get involved. And, they all go to Sydney because of, Ghostface attacking there, and Gale's like, this is my chance, this is my opportunity, this is how I get back to business, how I get back to the top type thing. There's a lot of things that you can do with Gale Weathers, and think of how many iconic scenes and stuff we've gotten with Gale, and I just want to get back to that personally. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. What do you think? How you feel? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear it either way. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. We enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.